Hey, I just wanted to thank everybody for joining this live event and sharing this amazing information about NRF2 activation. And for those of you that don't know about me, my name's Dr. Kelly Humphrey. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I've been studying natural health for 17 years. I'm a graduate of Trinity School of Natural Health, and I've been a naturopathic doctor for 3 years. And part of my practice is as a detoxification specialist. And I want to share with you tonight something that I've incorporated into my practice, which is an amazing product. And the reason I say that, and it's really a game changer for my practice. And the reason I say that, because as a detoxification specialist, I understand about oxidative stress. And in the detoxification process, and reducing that oxidative stress, my biggest frustration with clients is they're able to do the diet protocols and diet change, but most people can't afford all of the different herbs that I normally recommend for the weak systems they have to support their weak systems. But the NRF2 activation with these 5 different amazing herbs working synergistically together to reduce oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days and 70% in 90 days. And when Andrea told me about this information and I started to research and look at the research and listen to testimonials, it just blew my mind. So this truly is a game changer for me, for my friends, for my family and clients, to help them accelerate their detoxification and their healing process. So I wanted to introduce my friends, Sam Allen and Andrea Ebert. And Sam Allen is a former Marine, hoorah, and Semper Fi. She's a wellness advocate for 6 years, and she is just a wealth of knowledge. She's researched about NRF2 activation for 6 years. And Andrea, and they're both homeschool, stay-at-home moms that homeschool, which is awesome. And Andrea is a wellness advocate, and she is very knowledgeable in helping people with this toxic world that we're in and educating people about NRF2 activation. So I want to turn it over to them to explain everything about it.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Kelly. It's a pleasure. Thank you for bringing your people to us so we can share this fascinating information tonight. We're really, really excited. So we're going to dive right into it. And today we're going to teach the concept of activation, not supplementation. It's light years ahead. We educate on the concept of biohacking the body for optimal health and wellness through the use of nutrigenomics, which is the study of how natural herbs and compounds can affect our body at a cellular level to improve our overall health. So now we're going to just kind of dive into it, and we're going to have a look around at our society and what we're dealing with. You know, when we look around, you have to ask that sort of rhetorical question where there really isn't an answer, but you look around and you ask, why are we feeling so bad? Why are we all chronically fatigued? Why are we, why do we have anxiety left and right, depression? Why do we, we can't sleep at night? We're ill. We have foggy brain, right? So it goes on and on and on. And we should be doing better. We're in a modern era. We have pharmaceutical companies around every corner, right? We have research. We have all this education at our fingertips, and yet we've never been so sick. Disease is on the rise. And, I think we've also known those people who, they've done everything right. They're eating organically, they're exercising, their body weight is healthy, and yet they'll still come out with cancer. They'll still break down with some degenerative disease. And we're seeing this all the time. And I'm also becoming more and more aware as I reach out to my neighbors with this information that people that I thought were healthy, who looked healthy to me on the outside, are suffering. They're suffering from these things like anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue, bipolar, and it's kind of going all across the spectrum. So then we have to ask ourselves why this is. And the answer to that, the quick answer is we're being hijacked. Our environment is being hijacked at a cellular level. You know, everywhere we look, we have herbicides and pesticides. We have Monsanto, right, in the big fields out there, and glyphosate is their main ingredient. And this product is only one registered product on a list of 80,000 chemicals that have been introduced to our society since the Industrial Revolution. So that, again, just 1 in 80, and that's the Monsanto herb. So that's going everywhere. That's not just in our crops and in our field and in our food, but that's in our golf courses, our parks, our playhouses. You know, everywhere we're turning. We have our processed foods, right? We've forgotten how to eat. Processed foods are everywhere, and I think even when we're trying to do our very best, we also live in a society where we're on the run a lot, and we're grabbing chips and we're grabbing some things, and it's kind of a way of life. Even if we're trying to do our very best, you know, Sam and I are here raising our large families, and we're doing, I would say, very well, and yet it's almost impossible to live this absolute purest life, right? We have air pollutions, we have the chemtrails in the air, we have all these things that we're just being inundated with on a daily basis. We have EMFs from our phones, you know, and again, putting down our phones isn't going to be a solution. We work from our phones, right? We're grateful for it, but now they have more dangerous things like 5G coming out, and you start to get this idea that, you know, we're not in Kansas anymore. There's something really, really scary, and it's something that's also very easy to not see. It's very easy to not see because we just go on with our daily life, and these things become very normal to us. And so there's a name for this. There's a name for what this all this toxins is causing in our body, and that name is oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is the underlying cause of inflammation and over 200 chronic and autoimmune diseases. So this, you know, we go through this list here on the right, and you see macular retinal degeneration, you know, in the eyes. We see hypertension, myocardial infarction in the heart. You know, we have skin disorders, we have autoimmune diseases, we have, you know, in the brain, we're seeing Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, you know. And I just saw another study that directly related that to these chemicals that we're pouring on our society, on our earth. And we have chronic inflammation, autoimmune disorders. We have, you know, the list goes on and on and on. And again, this is oxidative stress. So for a visual, as like a really simple visual, right, for us everyday people, we take this apple right here and we cut it in half, and you can see the browning on the apple. Well, that's oxidative stress. That's being oxidized. That's the process of oxidation. And what happens is, as human beings, we're breathing in air, that oxygen, and that's creating oxidative stress in our body because we're human beings and we're breathing in all these toxins left and right.
Andrea, should I take it from there?
Yeah, please. I'll turn this over to Sam now, and we're going to talk about, well, yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Just if you have anything else that you wanted to wrap up, I just wasn't sure if you wanted to toss it over or if you're.
Sure. I'd like to go into that PubMed slide.
You want me to take you to PubMed?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, so, you know, this term oxidative stress is becoming more and more popular, more and more familiar now. If you go to the National Institute of Health national database, where we have, which is called PubMed.gov, it's the world's largest resource for independent peer-reviewed studies. And if you type in oxidative stress, you'll see this was just recently, it was at 178,000 studies, over 178,000 studies, but it's already outdated because if you go today, you'll find over 200,000 studies on oxidative stress. So it's a real thing. And they're finding that it's, again, this underlying cause of inflammation and disease. So no, the next question is, what do you do about it? And now I would love to just for you, Sam, to take over like the solution, because we have this sort of drama. Like we all know that things are not going very well in our society, health-wise, and that we've really hijacked ourselves. And now but we do have a solution. We have answers for this, which is really exciting, and that's where it gets really fun.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Andrea, for helping explain that. And yeah, while Andrea gave you the doom and gloom, I'm going to hopefully come and give you hope and inspiration now with what we have to share with you. So basically, you know, what has been the solutions for oxidative stress? Well, very traditionally, you know, you might have waited until oxidative stress manifested in XYZ disease, right? Maybe if you had a cancer diagnosis, you would go and do the conventional route of chemo and radiation. Or if oxidative stress manifested in migraines, you would go and get some medication for the pain that you're feeling. If oxidative stress manifested in you not being able to sleep, like ever get to sleep, you might take a melatonin supplement, or you might even get prescribed something. If it manifested in anxiety or diabetes or any of those other things, those over 200 illnesses that we know that oxidative stress is at the root of, that's how you conventionally would solve the problem of oxidative stress. Wait till it turns into a disease or an illness and then go get a prescription from your doctor for it. Well, in the past couple decades, people who have been more proactive, you know, people like Dr. Kelly and people who are looking at things from a prevention side and a holistic side, and looking at how we could help the body before it gets ill, or even if it does get ill, how could we help it naturally? In the past couple of decades, we've known about the fact of antioxidants, and we know that antioxidants are good for the body because oxidative stress is just a bunch of free radicals attacking the cells in our body. So all of that toxicity that Andrea talked about, the things that we're breathing in our air, the things we're drinking in our water, and the food that's processed, and the herbicides and the pesticides and the EMFs, all of that is causing trillions upon trillions upon trillions of free radicals that are damaging every cell of your body every second of the day. Now, the antioxidant approach is good because we know an antioxidant gets rid of or eradicates a free radical. So that seems like a good idea. So people have been, for many decades or a couple decades now, been trying to increase their antioxidant consumption. They're trying to take their vitamin C in high dosages. They're trying to take their vitamin E. These are all antioxidant supplements. They're trying to do those super juices, like drink the juices that are fully concentrated with a lot of antioxidants. You're seeing the word antioxidant thrown around everywhere. It's kind of like a buzzword. Well, the only problem with that is that when you try to consume antioxidants, now make sure that you hear me loud and clear. I am not saying that good nutrition is a bad thing. It's a very good thing. In fact, keep eating your green veggies, keep eating your fruits and your good nutrient-dense food. It's just simply not good enough for the world that we're in right now and for the level of toxicity that we're in. You can think of your body kind of like a fire. It's on fire inside with free radicals. And when you try the direct antioxidant approach, taking that vitamin C supplement, taking that vitamin E or the multivitamin, or having a handful of blueberries or doing your super juices, that's a direct approach. And that's only eliminating a handful of free radicals here, a handful of free radicals there. So when you think about that, compared to trillions of free radicals that are damaging your cells, it's just, we're not getting anywhere. And that's why you're not seeing us as a society and our health improving, even in people who are doing these major antioxidant supplementations. They're not having the really big effect that they're looking for. However, research has shown that the body has its own natural mechanism built in to and genetic pathways that can solve this problem for us. And if we can just simply activate them in a way that's very natural and not harmful to the body, then your body basically becomes like an antioxidant machine, the way it was designed to be. So specifically through the NRF2 pathway, this is a protein that is a protein messenger that is inside of every cell of every mammal. And so if you can effectively activate that NRF2, then you now allow your body to create up to a million antioxidants every second of the day. So to compare this is like the direct antioxidant would be like your blueberries, your vitamin C supplements, your multivitamin. But your NRF2 activation is your 1 million to 1 ratio. And it's kind of in layman's terms, like if you could imagine your house being on fire and you are going to take the direct antioxidant solution, that would be like taking little Dixie cups of water and throwing them on the fire inside of every room and hoping that the fire will go out. And I think we all know that that's not going to work, right? That'll never get the fire under control. But if you could flip a switch or set off an alarm that would unleash the sprinkler system in every room of that burning building, or if you could bring the fire department and they could put a powerful hose in every room of that burning house, you're going to squelch the fire much more effectively and very fast. That's the same concept here. When you activate your own body, your own God-given mechanisms to basically squelch the fire itself, you have such a better impact, and you can actually, your body can start healing itself from the inside out. We know specifically that when you activate NRF2 inside the body, it turns on very specific genes and enzymes in your body, specifically these 3 big ones: catalase, glutathione, and SOD. And those are the major antioxidant enzymes inside of your body. So it's really just the difference of, instead of taking antioxidants, you're now allowing your body to make them at the tune of 1 million to 1. So I just want to talk about real quick what some of the research is saying about this study of NRF2. It's probably the first time, I'm guessing, that most of you have heard of NRF2. So I wanted to just highlight some of what the peer-reviewed research is saying about the study of NRF2 in general. So this is from Oregon State University. It says, when it finds a problem, NRF2 essentially goes back to the cellular nucleus and rings the alarm bell, where it can turn on up to 200 genes that are responsible for cell repair, detoxification of carcinogens, protein and lipid metabolism, antioxidant protection, and other actions. In their report, the scientists called it a longevity assurance factor. Now, you do not have to be a doctor to know that those things are very good and positive for your body to have working inside of them. So that's one article from Oregon State. Let's go. This is from Washington State University, where they concluded that NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. Now, this study was just published in 2015, so it's fairly new as far as research goes. The reason I love this is because it proves both things. It proves that NRF2 is a strategy for prevention. So it's the most extraordinary preventive breakthrough. So before you get sick, before you get illness, like basically your daily maintenance would be using this NRF2 activation approach. But also, if your body's already compromised, if you're already ill, if you're already on many medications and you're trying to get your body repaired, this also says it may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic strategy or breakthrough in the history of medicine. And that, to me, is so exciting because it means it's something for everybody. Let's go next here. So what we're talking about specifically is the very first NRF2 activator to hit the market, and also the only one proven, as Dr. Kelly said, in the world to reduce oxidative stress by an average of 40% in the first 30 days. And the reason that we, particularly on this call, are so excited about Protandim is because this is not a drug. It's an herbal product, and it is just a combination of 5 natural herbs, many that you may know, some that may be more exotic and you don't know as much. Turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, bacopa, and ashwagandha. And these 5 herbs, these 5 ingredients that have been used for centuries in natural healing, when they come together in this specific formula of Protandim, which is patented multiple times, it unlocks this NRF2 pathway. It activates the NRF2 pathway, which in the result of that is reducing that average oxidative stress level by 40%. That's really exciting when you think about all the things that Andrea told us that oxidative stress is linked to. So if you can reduce the main and the leading underlying cause of inflammation and disease by 40%, your body now has the ability to start repairing itself. And actually, with continued use, after a few months on Protandim, your body can actually reduce oxidative stress up to 70% on average. So this is really exciting. I want to point out real quick, sometimes when people see the ingredients of Protandim, they say, oh, well, that's fine. I'm already taking a turmeric supplement, so I don't really need Protandim. Or, oh, I take milk thistle already for liver health, so I really don't need that. And what this peer-reviewed study on Protandim actually shows is that when they took the individual ingredients by themselves and tested them, they had almost no effect. They basically were ineffective on their own, as you can see in the chart here. When they came together in the formula of Protandim, each one of those ingredients, the turmeric, the green tea, the milk thistle, bacopa, and ashwagandha, each one of them became 18 times more powerful. And that's just synergy. That's like, again, for the layperson, when you bake a cake, you cannot just throw any amount of flour and sugar and butter, all together at any temperature for any amount of time and just hope that a cake comes out of the oven. It doesn't work like that, because baking is chemistry, and there's a certain synergy and a certain recipe that has to happen for you to produce that cake. The same thing is true with Protandim, because you can't just take these herbs at any old dosage, at any old amount, and hope to have a good effect. They actually all need each other at this exact formula to make them 18 times more effective and to activate that NRF2 process. So I just real quick want to tell you the story of this company. Right now, we're talking to you about this product and this company person to person, right? Dr. Kelly is, of course, a medical professional, but Andrea and I are not. We are mothers. We are, my husband and I are a military couple. We do a lot of different things in our lives, but we're all educators. We're all people who are advocating and educating for the world to become advocates for their own health and to start to look at things more holistically. So the blessing of this whole story of this company is that it actually started as a biotech company. It was a biotech company, and in 2003, they discovered Protandim. They put together those 5 herbs. They realized after the first clinical study that it reduced that oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, and that led to incredible things. It led to ABC Primetime News investigating it on national television. They thought it was too good to be true, so they went in trying to dispel this. And they basically couldn't disprove it. They launched on national television. They aired the results where John Quinones went in before taking Protandim. He took his blood, and after 30 days, or actually only 14 days on Protandim, he was supposed to go for a full 30, but he went back in half the time. I think trying to kind of make good television, and his oxidative stress levels came down by 45%. And when that aired on national television, people wanted this product. But more importantly, independent universities all over the world caught wind of this and said, we need to study that little yellow pill, because if it really reduces oxidative stress even by 40%, then we need to study it in our lab. So what that led to was many, many different institutions launching and funding their own studies on this herbal pill, which is very rare. Usually only pharmaceutical drugs get this kind of attention from independent universities. And so if you go to PubMed.gov today, you're going to see studies on Protandim, not on some of the ingredients in Protandim, but Protandim, the branded product itself. You're going to see studies from LSU with regard to melanoma. You're going to see studies from Harvard and Ohio State and the American Heart Association with regard to heart disease and the arteries and the immense and powerful effect that Protandim had on all of that. You're going to see studies from Texas Tech with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. You're going to see things all over Johns Hopkins, the Mayo Clinic. All of these places have studied and published research on Protandim. And if you don't quite believe me and you want to go do it yourself, go to PubMed.gov and type in Protandim. And like Andrea said, the studies are coming out so quickly. So this is already outdated as well. It says 23 results here on Protandim. Today, if you go and type Protandim into PubMed.gov, you'll see 26 peer-reviewed studies. So highly encourage that if you're somebody who's interested and understands how to read research. If not, all you need to know is that this activates your body using natural herbs. There's no side effects. There's no issue with taking it alongside of the current medication, although we of course would always want you to work with your medical professional and practitioner to just always, work on whether you're going to wean off of the products or what you want to do. But you can take it right alongside of medication, any other supplements. Of course, you won't really need to take any other supplements because once your body is activated, there's just not a need for your traditional supplements and your traditional type of vitamins. So that is very exciting. And like Dr. Kelly said, the simplicity of it, taking that one little yellow pill to have such a big impact overall on your health, and to really open up those detox pathways in your body it's massive. So one last study I wanted to highlight is a multiple sclerosis study that was done actually by one of the leading pharmaceutical companies in the world. They led this study. They have a NRF2 activating drug. So it's a synthetic NRF2 activator. And their own study compared Protandim and their drug, their NRF2 activating drug. And they found, sorry, I'm just going to see if I can mute everybody real quick. Okay, so in their own study, they said, interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most suited as a therapeutic strategy for MS. So guys, this is a really huge deal, because what this study is basically saying is that there's a drug company that has one of the leading prescribed drugs for multiple sclerosis patients. That drug is on the market. It costs $50,000 a year. There are massive side effects, as there are with, most drugs have harmful side effects. And Protandim has been shown to be almost twice as effective at activating NRF2 inside the body. And it's only $41 a month. It's herbal. There's no side effects. So this is powerful. And it's something that everybody can access. You don't need a prescription. You don't need to wait until you already have the disease. It's something that you can take preventively. One last thing I want to also highlight is the fact that if you go to Dr. Kelly's website, like if you're interested in getting more information, you're going to see a few other products. You're not going to see a whole catalog, but you're going to see a few other products. And all you need to know, of course, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have after you get back with Dr. Kelly about this and check out his site. But basically the concept is activating your own body and using your own genes with natural herbs and compounds to affect different areas of the body. So we talked about the NRF2 pathway, which is big for the detoxification, for producing antioxidants in the body. But then there's also the NRF1 pathway, which helps with mitochondrial support. And then there's your gut health and your heart health with the omega and the probiotic. So you really want to go take a look at those if it's something that interests you. But understand, you can activate the skin, you can activate your metabolism and your brain and all of these areas naturally. But at the end of the day, to reduce the overwhelm, if you would just start with that one little yellow pill, that Protandim NRF2, you would have more benefit, at least internally at first, than you could with any other single product. And we know that because of the peer-reviewed research that says so. And then the results that you see later, after you've been using it for a few months, are like the stories that you hear and then people's personal experiences that you would feel. That kind of just is like the icing on the cake and solidifies the whole thing. I just thought real quick as well, I would touch on the Axio, because Axio is an activator of the brain, and it's an NRF2 activator. It's a drink. And I just wanted to show you kind of a visual, because sometimes it's good to see science, it's good to hear stories, but I sometimes think visuals are very powerful. This is a sampling of handwriting from a little boy who's autistic and has ADHD. His uncle is a chiropractor and a good friend of mine, and his specialist who works with him reached out to his mother and said, "What are you doing with your son? I've been working with your son for years now, and I've never seen something like this. Within a week's time, his handwriting went from this very kind of scattered, wide set, kind of not even in a straight line. And then the following week, after he was using Protandim NRF2 and drinking this Axio drink, his handwriting started to get super focused, and he was having this incredible focus. And we've seen this now with many, many children. On behalf of the company, we're not going to say this is a product for children, but again, we hope that you would be your best advocate and the best advocate for your children to make that decision. So we just want you to know what is possible here when you basically unlock your body's potential and you do it in a natural way. So Dr. Kelly, I would love to turn it back over to you. And if anybody has any questions, I will say that, of course, Dr. Kelly, like I said, he's a medical practitioner. He's a naturopathic doctor, but Andrea and I, we're not. We're stay-at-home mothers, and we are, we're sharing and educating. So if any of this resonates with you and you feel like, wow, I feel passionate about this as well, or if you're even thinking, wow, it would be amazing to be able to share this with people and even create something from home for yourself, it's as simple as getting your own website with LifeVantage. And that's something that Dr. Kelly could talk with you more about if you have any questions about that. For my husband and me personally, we've been doing this in the very nooks and crannies of our busy lives, being a homeschooling family, military family with multiple deployments. We have 4 young children, and in less than in about exactly 6 years, we've been able to completely replace a 6-figure income with this from home. So I just want you to know what's possible. But we really are so excited to share with you guys just the power that we have here with this ability to unlock the potential of our bodies and to share that gift with the world. So I will stop sharing, and then Dr. Kelly, I'll go ahead and turn it back over to you.
Thanks so much, girls. Just amazing information, and every time I hear it, it just blows me away. If you'd like more information, you can send me a message on Messenger. I'm also offering a free consultation, a free health consultation, and you can contact me also through Humble Healing Facebook page or the Mindful Village, or you can email me at the Dr. Kelly Show. That's Kelly, the Dr. Kelly Show at gmail.com. And I just wanted to thank Andrea and Sam for sharing this information, and thank everyone for joining tonight. And I hope everybody has a great night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye, girls. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.